Author Geek Alliance presents Narration Fixation Episode 5, Casting and Auditioning, with Gwendolyn Jensen-Woodard from Gypsy Audio.
Hi, I'm Gwendolyn Jensen-Woodard from Gypsy Audio, www.gypsyaudio.org, a mostly original science fiction, fantasy, and horror audio drama site.
Very good. Well, tell us about some of the shows on Gypsy Audio.
Our originals, we have a soap opera called Gypsy Cove, and it's involves supernatural elements as well as being a soap opera. So it's got werewolves, vampires, mysterious diseases, plus love triangles, and everything
I,
you'd find in a soap opera.
I really liked the Christmas episode. It wasn't too Christmassy, but it was nice way to set the story around a particular time.
Oh, the original Christmas episode or the?
Yeah, the one with the pregnant woman.
Yes.
Try not to be too spoilery here.
Yes, I was in that one.
Yes.
I write most of Gypsy Cove also.
Okay. I notice you don't act in a whole lot of stuff. You sometimes have a smaller role, I guess.
I act for everybody else, and I often have larger roles for many other companies, but I made my company specifically to make shows. If there's a part I'm right for, like I'll do leads in our OTRs just because he always wanted to be Katharine Hepburn or, something like that. But otherwise, I don't take roles unless necessary in my own shows. I do have one in Gypsy Cove that's fairly large, but I don't have a role in mainly our other completely original show, Tamlin PI,
Right. You're
which
the writer
is
on that, though.
I am the writer on Tamlin PI. And Tamlin PI is a hard-boiled detective series with a female lead detective set in alternative universe Seattle.
Okay. I listened to the first episode of that, and there's definitely a lot of fantasy elements because there was magic and some other stuff going on in there.
There's magic, and then in another episode we actually have a laser gun. So we try and incorporate a little bit of everything.
Yeah. There was more technology in that episode also.
Well, in Gypsy Audio, when people get a chance to look at it, we tend to have more strong female characters than a lot of other things. It's kind of our shtick. If
Yeah.
you go to Gypsy Audio, you know you're going to get either a female protagonist or a female antagonist or both.
Okay. I know on Fortuna, I was listening to Fortuna, and one of the actresses on that is the lead on Tamlin PI, and I thought that was funny that she was playing such a different role on Fortuna.
What's
But
funny is they're
I
not.
recognized her.
What's funny is they're not.
They're different.
They're not the same person.
No, it's not the same.
No, the accent is what throws people.
Okay, because
Tamlin, go ahead.
Tamlin is not who was it?
Kitty.
The I
Tamlin
don't
is
remember
played
that.
by MJ Cogburn.
Yes,
Kitty is the character I think
Kitty.
you're thinking
Yes,
of.
yes, that's exactly who I thought it was. Kitty, right?
And
It's
Kitty is
not. It's not.
no, she's played by AJ Clarkson,
Okay, they do have very similar voice. Wow.
who is the writer of Fortuna.
Okay,
And she's also the writer in a show I actually do have a part in, is the Blackburn Gaslight Adventures. So both
right.
of
You're
those
the
are
wife
also
on that.
original. Yes, I play
Yes,
Elizabeth Blackburn
right.
with my southern accent.
Well, so we're talking about casting. So, and you've been writing this stuff and not for yourself, I guess, which is
Not for myself.
kind of interesting because a lot of the other projects I've looked at, people write for themselves and they want to put themselves in the lead, and you've kind of done the opposite of that. So that's
Yeah, I'm writing for the rest of the community. It's the same reason I developed the Audioverse Awards, trying to give back to our community that we love
so.
so
Do you
much.
write with another actress in mind, or do you
Sometimes,
just go casting with an open mind on who could fill that role?
sometimes Tamlin PI, I had two people in mind for, but MJ Cogburn fills that role perfectly. We had a recast at one point, and it was nice to get MJ back, although the other actress was very good. Sometimes I write just, for example, one of our shows that is not original exactly, The Doctor Chronicles, which I also write. I didn't have, I had somebody in mind for the first Doctor, but I didn't have anybody in mind for the companion or anything like that until after the first episode was written.
Well, at
And he
least with
was,
with the Doctor stories, changing actors along the way is not a big deal.
well, and for us, and I don't think it's a secret anymore, we started with a male doctor at the beginning of
Oh,
episode 1, and at the end of episode 1, we had a female doctor.
wow, there you go.
So that was his regeneration, or hers,
That's I think we need that kind of regeneration soon and on
on
BBC's
regular
Doctor Who.
Doctor. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
and no one else was doing it so far, other than a few very vague BBC audio dramas. I'm the only person to have done it. Out of all the Doctor Who audio dramas and everything, just us.
Wow, very good.
It's a niche filling thing.
So, well, tell us about casting for some of these other roles that you weren't writing for somebody in particular. How did you go about
What I
casting those
do,
particular people?
what I do, if it's not somebody I have in mind, because I will admit I am a ninja caster from way back, but I also hold auditions. And I just go in and look at the role and pick out the lines that I think encompass the character without giving too much away. And then whomever sends the audition with the tone of the character, with the feel of the character, those are the type of people I'm likely to put onto the show. If you get something entirely wrong, but suddenly it sounds funny and is right, sometimes I'll do that too. It's the 3 lines, they send them to us, we listen to, 5 to 15 different people, and we choose from there.
All right.
It
So,
sounds like a hard
how
thing.
much do you audition for roles with other production companies then?
Um, in the past 6.5 years that I've been doing audio drama, I would say I auditioned for 75 to 80% of the roles I got, and I've done over 350 to 400 roles in that amount of time. And yes, I counted.
Can you boost your volume just a little bit?
I
I'm
can, I
you're
think.
fading in and out a lot.
Sorry, this new computer, and it's not prepared for the microphone, I don't think. Let me try that again. The volume level went all the way to 0 for some unknown reason.
There, okay, that's better. Yeah. Um, so, I looked at your auditions page on Gypsy Audio, and it doesn't look like you've had open auditions for any of your productions in a while.
We haven't for a bit, and the ones we have done I forgot to put up.
Oh no.
They went on our Facebook, and they went on the
Okay.
Facebook page Audio Drama Editions, and they went on to Audio Drama Talk, which is a website. I just spaced putting them on our website. It
Oh,
happens
okay.
every now
Okay.
and then. I'm also our webmaster. What can I do?
Yes. Well, are you finding Facebook and Audio Drama Talk to be more effective than your own website for that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think more people look at it from the Facebook perspective. Audio
Okay.
Drama Talk is kind of not as active as it used to be,
Okay.
but we also find people through word of mouth and through, if I put it on my own page and somebody goes, "Hey, I want to try this." So we get and we also try and use places we don't use a lot, like Voice Actors Alliance, and we're looking into trying to figure out. Okay, I just forgot the word. I'm very sorry. Um, Vocal Loco is the other place
Oh,
we're trying to figure out right now.
okay. I get messages from Voice Bunny occasionally, so do you use that?
No, because Voice Bunny is mostly for auditioning for paid roles.
Okay.
And so I have used that personally in the past, but it's not something I would use because we are a we don't pay for anything we do. Everything is volunteer
All
run.
volunteer, right?
The only thing that gets paid for is the website, and that comes out of our pocket. We don't ask for help or anything like that. So everything we do is volunteer.
Okay. So, what kind of roles do you have coming up that some of our listeners could be interested in auditioning for?
We have a few medium and small roles coming up in Fortuna that I think people would like. Um, I can't remember female or male, but if you want to be in a space opera, man, that's the way to go. We have a casting call coming up for No, not Tamlin, sorry. For the Doctor Chronicles. We will have a casting call coming up for that. I can't give anything away here on how the season ends with the Doctor Chronicles, but there will be needed people for next season.
Okay.
Plus the special in between, like they would do at the BBC. I'll have one, that's a little different, and then so have people watch for those because the Doctor Chronicles is fun,
So
from
how
what
do
I've been
people
told.
so how do people find you on Facebook? Because I know that's not how I found you.
That isn't. Gypsy Audio has its own Facebook,
Okay.
and then I'm Gwendolyn Jensen-Woodard on Facebook.
Right. So I found you from Women in Audio Drama, right?
Yep,
Something
which
like
is
that?
one of the
Yes.
sites that I created,
Okay.
as well as Audiodrama Auditions.
Very cool. Audio drama. I've not heard of that. What is that?
Audiodrama Auditions is also on Facebook, and it's where you can put auditions up on Facebook for, whatever volunteer audio drama you have, as long as you follow the criteria that we set down at the top. And it's
Oh,
not
okay.
difficult. We just want, how you want it done, how you want it named, what's the speed and all that, what type of file, and due date.
Oh,
And
okay.
I mean, our rules aren't really difficult. It's what you ask for anyway.
Right. So, what do you see as the biggest need in volunteer audio drama right now for
The
people?
biggest need in volunteer audio drama right now is still mixers, people who can help put together shows. I have myself and three others at Gypsy Audio, almost four because we have a guy that's helping us out too. Um, but our shows are backlogged because we can only do so much at a time. And we're not the only people having the backlog issues.
Yeah, I know Broken Sea. I talked to Stevie Farnaby last month, and that was kind of the problem there also.
Of course, the problem with that is trying to live up to Stevie Farnaby. I couldn't live up to a mix of his if I tried.
Yeah,
He's a very
just
good friend of mine,
yeah,
Stevie is.
yeah. And he was some of his. I've only listened to a few of his shows, but man, they were amazing. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's kind of intimidating
him and Bill
to.
Hallweg both. They're both of them I know very well. They say come do a role for me, and I say okay. I don't even ask what it is.
So how would you recommend people get started doing something like that?
The mixing?
Yeah, because I mean, if you're looking at that as looking at one of Stevie Farnaby's mixes as an end goal, you have to start somewhere much
Well,
more manageable, I
you
think.
might be looking at Dirk Maggs as an end goal, really, but that's entirely
Okay.
other question.
Oh, okay, okay.
But Stevie's right up there.
Yes.
Um, what I have told people is if you want to learn to mix, ask us or ask the company you want to work for. Most of
Okay.
us will teach you, and we're
Okay.
willing to teach. That's how AJ Clarkson got started in. She mixes Fortuna and Blackburn Gaslight, and she mixed both of her shorts that she did this year
Okay.
for
I know
us.
some companies call that producers. Like
We call producing, we'll call it post-producing, but we call
okay.
producing a slightly different thing. Producing is being the person overall, making sure everything is cast, making sure lines get in, making sure your assistant producer, which I have, which is Alex Gilmore, is doing their job, making sure, it's running the website, getting the auditions out. That's what we call producer, making sure the show comes together and goes out.
Okay. So like a Hollywood showrunner type of situation or
Exactly,
something like that. Okay.
exactly. And then our post producers are the mixers. And
Okay.
then we've got writers and actors and, you know, that kind of thing.
So how much music and sound effects do
Oh, we
you?
do that too.
Okay. That seems to be, I guess, one of the intimidating steps is to try to get, you know, music that doesn't overwhelm and sound effects that don't throw you out of the scene or whatever.
And you also have to be careful not to get music that is copyright.
Well, yes.
People are doing that, and I worry for them. We tend to use a lot of music from Newgrounds and from Kevin MacLeod.
Right. A lot of
The,
people use Kevin MacLeod. Yeah,
yeah, the theme for Tam Lin is from Kevin MacLeod.
I hear incompetech.com all the time.
However, we did have somebody write us a theme for Gypsy Cove. David Krause
Oh, okay.
actually came up with the Gypsy Cove theme, which I love. I love themes that once you hear them, you know exactly what you're going to hear, you know what show it is, and it just takes you right into that show.
Right, because it's jarring sometimes when you hear the theme to a particularly iconic show and it's used somewhere else because it was on Incompetech and somebody else just grabbed it because it sounded cool.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that way sometimes.
It's like, oh, that's exciting trailer. Okay, that's not the show
Well,
I was expecting.
a lot of mixers, myself and Alex included, although I would go to somebody and say, "How am I doing this?" Basically self-taught
Oh, okay.
because you need to get the shows out. I did the first thing I ever mixed was a parody of our Laura Bond show.
So explain what Laura Bond is, because I didn't know what it was when I was visiting your site. I don't know
Laura
when I went
Bond
and looked.
is written by I'm sorry, my brain just left again. Laura Bond is written by Alexa Chipman, and it is the way we put it, James Bond's smarter and prettier sister. It's
Okay.
James Bond with Laura Bond. It's the first thing I ever did that could be counted as fan, because I don't do a lot of fan shows.
Okay.
I prefer to do original, but we do a couple. Like I said, Doctor Chronicles, Laura.
And then
Um,
you do some classics like you were doing Dracula and Ernest.
right, Dracula. Ernest is coming. We actually found a mixer for it. We have the Philadelphia story. We have what did I do last year? Stage Door, and we have one other that I can't remember the name of. And then this year we're looking at doing Arsenic and Old Lace.
Arsenic and Old Lace. Wow.
Oh, I've been dying to be one of the ants in Arsenic and Old Lace, and I got Julie Hoverson to do the other
Yes.
ant. So this should be awesome.
So yeah, I'm in talks to have Julie Hoverson on another time to talk about other stuff related to audio drama.
And she's awesome about it. She's we're friends in real life as well as through the audio drama, and she's really very awesome.
She actually helped me get like 11 book offers on Audible before the new rates changed.
I
But I
only
was
got I only got three.
and I was these are all like 1.5 hour, 2 hour books, so it's
Oh,
not
I
like
always get
huge hits.
novels. I do.
But it
Yes,
was
I do.
just I wasn't even looking for new work. It's just the deadline was coming and I was chatting with her and she said this and I said this and she said, "You need to go talk
Go
to
try
so and so."
this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I went and talked to so and so and she said, "Well, if that worked, you need to go talk to so and so." It's like so I did it. It's like suddenly I have
I know how it is. I'm also an audiobook narrator on top of the rest of this stuff.
very good. So do you have what works do you have already on Audible?
I
Or do
have
you?
several, actually.
Okay.
I have either six or seven. I can tell you the names if you like.
Okay. Yeah,
Published
let
are
our audience know.
Final Sin by Shelley Cordero,
Okay.
Bartlett's Rule by Shelley Cordero, Karma Visited by Shelley Cordero,
If you find an author
Hostage.
you like, stick with her.
Well, I've got more, but I'm going through her first. Hostage
Okay.
Heart by Shelley Cordero, Murdered by Human Wolves by Stephen E. Waddell, Broken Glass Window, which is a short story by somebody calling themselves the Kingster, um, Last Day in 7 Days in Benevolence, also by Stephen E. Waddell. And then my bestseller, strangely enough, is Sex Addiction, Real Life Stories and Healing. That's my biggest seller.
Okay.
I've
So
sold
I've got
215 of those.
so I've got three finished works. Well, three works that are available for retail right now from Audible. I have a fourth one that is in
Cool.
QC right now,
Very cool. And
and they're all different. So
I know the feeling. Right now I'm working on some books by Lauren Shiro. And so that should be some good stuff
yeah.
coming out.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how the one that's in QC right now is a murder mystery. It's set in Oklahoma, and I was when I was first auditioning, I was looking
Oh,
for
so is
roles.
Murdered by Human Wolves.
I was looking for
Sorry.
roles that were or books that were set in and around Texas, Oklahoma, and Mexico because that's where I live and grew up. So I thought use my natural voice to good effect.
Yeah.
And so that was the one. I auditioned for more than that, but he liked my audition, and so I I ended up doing. That was a longer book. That was 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
And then my voice, I caught a cold. Like I had 5 chapters left to read out of 20 or 30. Yeah, out of 30 chapters, and it's like I have to wait until my voice is better to finish.
I've run into that.
Yes.
I am one of the main things I've been hired to do in audio drama is scream because other people don't like to scream.
Oh yeah, wrecks your voice, or it
And so
can.
I may be to a point where I won't be screaming a lot more, which is sad because I do scream a lot in audio drama. Bill likes to kill me, Bill Hallweg. Bill and Julie like to kill me in all sorts of various ways.
That sounds
Makes
great.
you wonder if it's personal after a while. I know it's not.
They just know your strengths, right? They're playing to your strengths.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I
just think
have
of
a
that.
lot of them. I I would love acting. I love acting more than I like writing, although I love writing as well. So it's nice when you get those roles. So I've had
Very
some
good.
very meaty, tough roles, and of course I've had some, mom roles or chick that dies in the first act roles and things
Yeah, I
like that.
was looking at some auditions for another production company, and it's like Thug 1 and Thug 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
and the women, you're either 20 years old, buxom and perfect, or you're 58 and Stephanie's mom.
that's good. Yeah. So, so yeah, that's another thing is being my age, and it's like, well, I don't think I can really pursue these books that are calling for young male voice.
Right. Well, 6 years ago, I got away with a lot younger of a voice than I can now.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. And my throat is slightly thrashed. I can hear it talking to you right now.
Just a little bit, but that adds character if you're doing character work, so something to think
All
about.
I do is character work, to be
Yes.
fair.
So yeah, don't you're not gonna be you're not gonna be playing those ingenues or anything. So
No, I've played an ingenue, but not very often. They'd rather I played the crazy person in the corner.
there you go. Those are
I
more
don't
fun
like
anyway, aren't they?
Oh, totally. And I also, if somebody says, Gwen, I have 2 lines I need someone to do, I've never turned down 2 lines or anything in my life. A
Oh
role is a
sure.
role is a role. And that's how I see it.
Okay.
No small parts, just small people.
So
Old
what
acting
else?
adage.
So what else about audio drama do you think our listeners need to know about?
The important things auditioning and casting, if you're doing it from the side of wanting to audition,
Right.
you want to make sure you're in a quiet place. Your microphone is facing your face, but you're not right on top of it, so you're not making the popping and the other noises. Um, you want to normally for most places you want to do 3 takes and you can make them different so you can show people what you can do. And you want to re-listen to what you did before you send it off.
Right.
That's one of the biggest mistakes people make when auditioning. They don't go back and listen. So they don't know what mistakes they made, what noises are there, that kind of thing. And that loses people roles more often than, even if they might have been perfect, if you can't understand them or get their files to work, then they'll lose out on that role. So I think
Okay.
listeners need to know that. I think that's important with casting and auditioning.
So when people get their lines, do they get the lines of the person before or after them, or just their lines?
If it's an audition, they get only their lines.
Okay.
But I do put in the angry, sad, happy, whatever needs to be in there.
Some
Because, if
emotional
I,
suggestions.
right, if I put too much up, I'm starting to spoil people on the next episode of whatever it is.
Right. Right.
And
Okay.
most people react badly to that.
Okay. Let's see. Um, I don't have any other questions for you, I guess. Is there anything else you want to tell us?
Hmm. That if anybody's intimidated and afraid to go out for a role or to go talk to somebody in an audio, that runs an audio drama company or is part of an audio drama company, don't be. We would like people to come talk to us and say, hey, what can you tell us about this? What can I do to get into this? Even if you don't want to come work at Gypsy, come talk to me or go talk to Julie or go talk to Bill Hallweg or Stevie K. Farnaby. Talk to somebody because most of us are very friendly, and if you want to get into the biz, we're more than happy to help you do it.
Right. Very good.
So that's that's an important thing, I think.
All right, that sounds great. And looking forward to hearing more stuff from Gypsy Audio.
More's
And what?
coming.
What is the next thing that's coming out?
The very next thing that's coming out was supposed to be part of our Halloween show, but we had some problems with people getting ill. The next thing that's coming out is a show called A Few Good Friends by Sable Jack, and it's a Victorian horror set in Victorian England. I think it's Victorian England, might be a little earlier.
Okay.
So that will be the very next thing, and then after that, hopefully a Doctor Chronicles and either the new season of Tamlin or the next GC, Gypsy Cove.
Okay.
And Ernest is coming too.
If people want to learn to mix, they should contact you.
Contact me, and if I can't teach you, I'll hook you up with who can.
All right, that sounds great. Is there anybody else you would suggest that I interview for Narration Fixation?
Yeah, there is, but I don't know how amenable they are to being interviewed. You talked to Stevie.
I did.
And you're going to talk to Julie.
I am planning to talk to Julie, and I've also been in chat with Michael McLean from Gap Audio, or Yap Audio? Yap Audio?
Yap Audio. That's a good one.
Aftermath.
If she's up for it, Fiona Thrall, who runs Co-op Random Audio, is a good
Okay, I've seen that name on the Facebook group.
Yeah, she's in Women. She's my co-moderator in Women in Audiodrama.
Okay.
And she'd be a great person to talk to, and along with her,
so what is she?
Britton.
What would she be an expert at?
They write most of their own shows.
Okay.
And they just started a new audio drama company. So I've been around for almost 6 years as an audio drama company.
Okay.
So it may be a different perspective from somebody who just started their own. Not that they haven't worked with other people, because they have.
Oh, okay.
But they might be able to give you okay, this is how it works if you're just starting out perspective. Because frankly, I'm not sure I remember that far back.
Yeah. Yeah, you and Julie and Stevie all have been doing this a while.
Yeah, I've been doing it slightly longer than Julie, and Stevie's been doing it longer than both of us. So.
Yep. Okay. And I've chatted with Alexa just by email, and she's just been too busy to do anything. So.
She usually is. If you can get a hold of her, she's a great person to talk to about writing.
Yes.
If she's willing to do it.
And I wanted to talk to her about audiobooks too, because she's got a couple of books published now. So.
Yeah, she does. So she might have some answers there.
So, but we'll see how that goes. So Fiona.
Fiona Thrall.
Yeah, Thrall. Very good. I will contact her and see if you want to give her a heads up. That might be helpful also.
I doubt that she's on at the moment. She's in England.
Okay, that's okay. It's this is only every other week or so.
Okay.
So it's
is there any way to get questions from the audience?
Yes. So people that are watching live can submit questions, and I have the comment tracker turned on, and nobody submitted questions in the last 29 minutes.
Aww.
So
are there people there at least?
I've been seeing one viewer constantly, so.
I'm going to guess that would be Alex Gilmore.
Oh, okay.
I asked him to come, but he didn't have to come talk. So.
Yeah.
Because he is my second in command at Gypsy. He's mixed Dracula, Gypsy Cove, one Tamlin PI. He's probably our main mixer.
I had some expectation that Alex Gilmore was a female, and then when he RSVP'd or whatever to the hangout today, it's like, oh, that's a man.
AJ Clarkson is female, but yes, okay. Alex Gilmore is a man.
Very good.
He's been with me since when I started audio drama. He and I were started in the same place, which is a place I don't tend to like to mention. And that's how we got. Okay. And then we went on to working with Alexa, and then we went on to our own company.
Very good. All right. Well, Gwendolyn, thanks for being on today, and sure. I hope some people come and discover all the great stuff you have at Gypsy Audio.
I hope so too. If you ever have another place where you think you can stick me, give me a call.
All right, you bet. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye.